こんなの食べたことあるかな。これがステークって言ってブロッコリーの代わりで美味しいの。これね。もっと長靴履いてくればよかったな。
For generations, people have adapted to life here in one of Japan's remote mountain communities. In the village of Hinoemata, there's no grocery store, no convenience store, and just one traffic light, for the sole purpose of teaching the local children how to use one. It might sound isolated, but for generations, these mountains have shaped a way of life that's still visible today. And over the next few days, we'll meet the people of Hinoemata and learn how this remote village has adapted to life in the mountains for generations.
皆さんいらっしゃいませ。こちら福島県にある檜枝岐村というところに皆さんいらっしゃいます。福島の村、なんとですね、人口が480人ぐらいしかいないです。480人。この村の面積の 96% が森なんです。
Our guide for this trip is Yabuki-san, drawn here by the village's slower and nature-centered way of life. And the roots of that way of life run deep. For generations, the people of Hinoemata relied on the surrounding forests, with timber forming the backbone of the local economy. When the mountains slowly became protected, the village turned to something else the environment offered in abundance. Winter brings up to 3 meters of snow in Hinoemata, attracting skiers from across the region. In the summer, hikers pass through nearby Ose National Park, where alpine flowers bloom across vast marshlands. Due to the area's high elevation, rice cultivation was almost impossible here. So, the villagers turned to hardy buckwheat instead. Today, buckwheat remains one of Hinoemata's staple foods. And one local specialty is tachi soba. Unlike most soba noodles, which uses wheat flour as a binder, traditional tachi soba uses buckwheat porridge instead. The dough is rolled out and cut by hand, giving the noodles their distinctive chewy and rustic character. A sweet buckwheat specialty is hatto, with some interesting origins of its own.
おもてなししたいから、このハットを昔は貴重だったんですよ。やっぱりあんま砂糖とかないから、でそれを貴重だからお役人にどうぞって食べさせたら、お役人がこんな庶民が美味しいもの食べるなんてハットだって食べちゃダメって言ったので、ハットっていう名前になったって言われてます。ここで水洗い工事といって豆をウォッシュするときに。
Hinoemata's remote location meant the villagers had to live resourcefully from the land. But that same remoteness also helped preserve its traditions, including one artistic practice that has remained unchanged since it first took root here. In a village of fewer than 500 people, seeing one of Japan's most famous performing arts is probably the last thing you'd expect.
ご覧いただきたいと思います。はい。じゃあまずこちらです。
The village's first encounter with kabuki happened over 280 years ago, when villagers traveling through mainland Japan on a pilgrimage stumbled upon a performance. Mesmerized by what they saw, they brought kabuki back to their village. And one of the people carrying on that tradition is Hoshi-san, a member of one of the village's oldest families.
私はこういう役目は実際はやりません。これお姫様の役です。たまたま。はい。
これこういう長一さんがやってるのみたいな感じで。5月もね。
Every part of the production, from acting to stage setup, is carried out by the villagers. It's the shared effort that has kept Hinoemata's kabuki tradition alive. Three times a year, the public gathers at Hinoemata's historic Kabuki Theater, where villagers perform kabuki as a sacred offering to their guardian deities. That shared commitment has kept Hinoemata's kabuki tradition alive for generations, earning it recognition as one of Japan's important and tangible folk cultural properties. As the rain begins to fall, we head indoors, where the story of these mountains continues through the village's cooking. The best place to experience the mountain people's diet is at one of the village's family-run guest houses. Here, our host, Fukue-san, serves Yamodo Ryori, literally mountain people's cuisine. Made with wild mushrooms, mountain vegetables, Iwana trout, it's a cuisine shaped by generations of making the most of what nature provides, fueling the people who once worked in these mountains.
これも村のお蕎麦を使った郷土料理で。だけどこれ何ですか？もろみみ味噌です。もろみ味噌。これも自分で全部作りました。
And we'll need that energy, because tomorrow we're leaving the village behind to explore one of Japan's alpine landscapes, the place the people of Hinoemata have helped protect for generations.
あんまりできてん。
ほうれん草というか、ホットのほうれん草。
てなかったが、今も仕事もしてなかった。今はおとなしくしてる。あとこれが山うどです。あとこれが今取ってきた春菊。あとこれは切り干し大根。
Today we're heading higher into the mountains, home to one of Japan's most iconic alpine wetlands, where we'll spend the night in a remote mountain hut. Leading the way is Hagiwara-san, who knows these mountains better than most. As an Oze nature interpreter, she doesn't just guide visitors through the park. She helps them understand its fragile ecosystem and how to explore it responsibly. But first, we'll have to get to the trailhead. And there's only one way to get in.
こちらの福島交通さんにご理解とご協力をいただき、沼山峠行きのバスでは尾瀬の隠されたストーリーを
In an ecosystem this fragile, it makes sense to be cautious, no matter how small the creature.
よくこれも気づかれずに踏まれて死んでるので踏まないようにお願いし動くのであんま気づかれない逃げないようになんかこの動植物たちって人間がいなくても生きていけるんですよでそれにすごい気づかされた時があってハッとさせられた時があって、でも尾瀬ってみんな癒されるために来てる人たち、ここって本当は動植物たちのたくさんの命たちの住みかなので、それを伝えていかないといけないっていう勝手な使命に駆られて、それでこういうインタープリターをやりたいなっていうふうに思ったんですよね。なんか尾瀬高校にいて
It didn't take long to reach Oze's famous marshes and alpine plants.
これがコバイケンソウの花ですね。あんまり匂いしないの。
Home to the largest high-altitude wetland on Japan's main island, Oze has been protected for generations. And for that, we can thank one of Hinoemata's oldest families, the Hiranos, whose passions and efforts helped turn Oze into a national park. Today, every visitor is asked to carry on that same spirit of conservation.
その泥炭が1年でね、なんと 0.8 ミリずつしか積み重なっていかないんですよ。なので人がどんどんこうやって踏み荒らしてしまうと、その泥炭の積み重なりに全然追いつかなくなってしまうんですね。なので昔は木道がなかった時代、どこでも歩いていけた時代は本当に茶色の状態になってて植物が全然育たない環境になってしまってたんですね。なので木道からはこう出ないように歩いてくださいねっていうお願いを今ではさせていただいています。
With no roads leading into Oze, everything from toilet maintenance to waste removal must be carried on foot or flown in and out by helicopter. That's why every visitor is asked to do their part. That includes staying on the boardwalks, taking all your rubbish home, and leaving the plants exactly as you found them. Even the 100 yen toilet fee helps maintain these remote facilities. Every small effort helps protect this fragile ecosystem, ensuring that Oze can be enjoyed for generations to come. And now it's time to see what Fukue-san packed us for lunch.
はこの沼がこの近くに歩いていきます。この沼の真ん中に
When you venture this deep into the mountains, you're bound to encounter a little history. And tonight we'll be staying in one of Oze's mountain huts, some welcoming hikers since as early as 1910. Like at the park, everyone does their part during their stay. Guests bring their own towels, refrain from using soaps or shampoos, and lights go out at 9 p.m.
トイレチップっていうのを100円を払うのもルールですね。まあでもなんかすごいなんかややこしく聞こえるけど、でも一個一個のルールにはちゃんと理由があるから、多分それを知ってもらえると、あ、なるほどなって思ってもらえるかなと思ってます。あ、なんかすごい魚がいた。あ、うだ。
で向こうでバスが待ってるとかそういう。
Life in Hinoemata isn't always convenient. But perhaps that's exactly what makes this village so special. It reminds you to appreciate what's right in front of you. Here, the mountains have shaped nearly every part of life, from the food on the table to traditions passed down for generations. And thanks to the people who call this home, that connection to the landscape is still alive today. Thank you for everyone watching and those of you supporting us on Patreon. And a special thank you to the people of Hinoemata for sharing their village with us. We'll see you all next time. Bye.